Okay, so this is a fly pattern that I've used a lot when I need to pare things down and kind of just get more natural. And it's kind of a Scandi style tube fly. I just call it a Scandi Swinger. And basically it kind of represents, just a small bait fish in the water. And again, I'll tie this in right now in a white and gray look, kind of a real, emerald shiner or something like that look. But it is definitely a pattern that you can adapt to a wide range of colors. Olive and yellow has been a really good combination as well. So I'm just going to start with some holographic ice dub. And this really isn't as much for the for a body, but to just kind of build up a base. I'm going to again have a point here that's going to lift the wing. So we're really going to just build up a bit of a ball here, right at that point with the dubbing. The mandrel. We're going to add a cone onto there. And what the cone is going to do is, again, create a bit of a ramp to allow the wing to stick up and not get in the way of the hook, and allow it to move better in the water. And it add a little weight to the fly, so you can drop it down into the water column just a little bit faster. It's one thing I really like using tubes, but the surface area of the tube does have a tendency to keep it more buoyant. And if you need to drop that fly down a little quicker, using a little weight in there definitely helps. So we're going to just start with some either white Arctic fox or fin raccoon. And again, don't get caught up on the colors. This is really can be olive or yellow and olive's really good combination. Really can use any combination you'd like. Usually with a darker on top, to kind of represent how bait usually look. Gonna remove that under fur. Just attach that down. And that's the starting point there. Now I'm going to add to the side. This isn't going to, it's more on the side of the wing, but we're going to add 3 or 4 lengths of lateral line. So tie that down in the middle, fold it back. I think anytime you're trying to tie a bait fish pattern, it is just so critical that there be a little bit of flash in there, so that when the fly turns, angles, catches the light. If you ever see bait in the water, when it changes angles or when it turns, catches light differently, makes it show up, makes it disappear, depending on how the light's hitting it. I think having flash in the fly to represent that is important. This lateral line really does that. It's kind of a holographic material. I'm going to cut that just a little bit longer than the wing. And then kind of that theme of creating a little bit of bulk at the front. I'm just going to add wrap a little schlappen at the front of the fly. So usually the color of the schlappen will match. So we're gonna add another wing here, an overwing. the color of the Schlappen, I usually tie it in so that it matches the color of that underwing. In the water, this will mat down a little bit and really just kind of has a nice slender look. Nice subtle look. I use this a lot of times as a more of a comeback pattern too when I get grabs on bigger flies. Then for the overwing, just going to use some gray Arctic fox or fin raccoon, and I'll make the top wing just a little bit longer than the bottom wing. Get rid of some of that under fur. I'll add just a little contrasting color. If you see bait in the water, a lot of times you'll notice just a little bit of darkness on the very top of the fish. So just going to pull out a little olive. You can use a little olive, a little black, just something to lay over that top to give that appearance of that darker line that you see. And make sure that this is the same length or a little longer even than that upper wing. Just add that so it's right on top. I mean, between marabou, bunny, Arctic fox, three materials that really move so well in the water, especially when you're swinging flies. You just want to have that movement, enticing movement, so that you can get that without adding any additional movement to the fly. I'm just going to finish that off with a small head. Finish that down. See how the cone underneath there has the wing propped up. When the water hits that, it'll flatten out, but it'll still stay above the tube, above where the hook is, and allow that wing to really move in the water. Let's cut that down. There you go. The Scandi style swinger. Great pattern here in the Great Lakes. Used it out west as well. Wide range of applications. You can use it for smallmouth trout, but it's really, really good steelhead fly. And you can really, I got this one tied, maybe a little bulkier than some of the ones I'll tie. Sometimes I'll tie them a little more sparse for real clear water conditions, and really adjust it out that way. So there it is.